Hello everybody and welcome to the third mission of my Halo 3 ODST Legendary Walkthrough Guide. Today we're doing the mission Kizingo Boulevard, but first we're going to play as the rookie to get through this Mombasa Street segment. We have about 800 meters to get to the clue to get us into Kizingo Boulevard, so we have a pretty long march ahead of us. But again, these Mombasa Street segments are just so good, and I really enjoy the ambience of New Mombasa at night. Not to mention the music is as always terrific. But getting into the mission, we're gonna go through this security door, pick up these incendiary grenades, and as we exit this door right here, there's gonna be a jackal right in front of us. You could take him out if you want to, but taking an eye on our dwindling ammo supply, I'm gonna try to conserve as much ammo as I possibly can by kind of like skipping a little bit of these engagements. But the jackal caught attention, and there we go. Lost 4 bullets to that, so hoping that was worth it. But anyways, we're just gonna keep on going. If you're in the same position I'm at and you're just like really low on ammo, sometimes it's just better to know when to actually get into a fight rather than like know when to walk away. You know what I mean? Like there's no point in wasting any more of your ammo. Keeping an eye on our back to get this jackal sniper. If you were lucky enough to have that jackal drop its beam rifle, nice. I would recommend you pick it up in exchange for your pistol. But if you were unlucky, then just keep using the Magnum until you are out of ammo. Taking out all the grunts, trying to keep an eye on this left road. Sometimes there are enemies that will come up this road. This time there were not any. Trying to see if we can get this this brute off the turret. Looked like I was actually about to hit him, but tried to see if there was a plasma pistol there so I can actually kill the brute. But unfortunately, I'm just not in a position. And I was actually hoping that that brute had a carbine so I could actually engage and get some carbine ammo. But this one was one of those instances of know exactly what you have, know that you can't do it. If you know you can't do it, there's no point in wasting any more of your ammo. It's just going to be easier to just move on past. Again, a lot of this, a lot of New Mombasa at night, a lot of these Mombasa Street segments are really just, do you want to get involved in this or do you just want to walk away? So sneaking up on this brute, again, I was really hoping that he had a carbine, but unfortunately there was not a carbine for us. But we kind of got bailed out here because there was a jackal sniper all the way over at the other end, which is where we need to go. So it's going to be pretty nice for us because we're going to be able to get a beam rifle in a few moments. Keeping an eye out for any more grunts. That grunt didn't want to die. I swear I had the reticle over its head, but apparently I just didn't get it like perfect. Anyways, moving over here to the jackal sniper who had the beam rifle, picking that up in exchange for our plasma pistol, and then all we have to do, I think, is go through one more of these little doors, and then we'll be at the Gauss turret. Keeping an eye out for any more enemies as well. So as you can see here, it's like not a ton going on in this one, but it was a very long walk. And of course, like there's going to be a few enemies between you and the point that you need to go to. And of course, these can be longer if you want them to be. You could sit around looking around for the audio logs for a little bit more of the like extra story, but it's completely up to you. Now, I'm taking the long way around because if you notice there's quite a few enemies that we are trying to get around, but I got picked off by this jackal sniper right here on the right, and I just got put in a really bad position, so I kind of just cut my losses and decided to run. There's a lot of jackal snipers in this area, a lot of jackal marksmen as well. So the very first thing that we always do is we want to take out anybody who can kill us from a far distance, like a jackal sniper or a jackal marksman. So if you see that little purple glint, make sure that you take those out first. So we went around. We almost got kind of caught by those brutes, but Fortunately for us, we were able to get away from all those enemies because, look, like, we just don't have the ammo to deal with them. We're just in a position where, like, I mean, yeah, we have a beam rifle now, but we're trying to conserve ammo and prepare for later. So this brute right here actually does have a carbine on him, so we're going to be kind of lucky there. Trying to get the snapshot off on this brute here. Come here. There we go. Got a little bit of grunts up here, as well as this brute that just came out of nowhere. There we go. I think we got him right there. There we go. Just need a little bit more ammo. Trying to find that carbine on the floor. There we go. We got the ammo for it now. Alright, now we can make that final push for the objective. There's some random grunt just running around. Not very much left in our beam rifle, but I think this is good enough for at least the end of this segment of the Mombasa streets. But yeah, if you have the audio logs done, make sure that you use your make sure that you utilize the ammo caches that they have for you all over the map. Those are very, very helpful. So that way you can always still keep the pistol. The pistol's really, really fun to use in the Mombasa streets. But anyways, guys, this is the end right here. This is where the Gauss turret is, and I'll see you guys for Mickey's part.
Where's the rest of your team, Trooper?
Scattered. Dead. I don't know.
That's too bad. We're gonna need all the men we can get.
Where's the fight at?
Take a guess, genius.
Son of a gun!
Wanna live? Get your ass out of the street!
Wait for me!
Alright guys, picking up where we left off. We have a rocket, an SMG, and we're going to make a beeline for that tank. There's going to be a few enemies coming out of the door on the left. You're going to toss a few nades this way to kind of take out a few of them, or at least flush them all out. But pretty much the entire time you're just trying to get to this tank. Now you want to make sure you get to the tank relatively quickly because there are wraiths. There's two wraiths, one on the left, one on the right, that will start to shoot at you if you aren't fast enough to get into the tank. Not to mention, you really do want the tank. Because it's going to be pretty much your tool of destruction during this entire mission. Now, when you get to the tank, you're going to want to make sure that you're put in cover, and you're always making sure that you're keeping an eye out for that second wraith that I was talking about earlier that's coming from the right side. As you saw there, one of its mortars actually was able to land right in front of me. You always want to make sure that you're kind of moving up and like forward and backward with the tank. That way it's like you're not always in an area where the wraith will like send its mortar, and you also have plenty of time to evade if you need to. Taking out the wraith, we're going to be a little bit aggressive here to make sure that we like save a little time, kill out some of the destroy some of these enemies, destroy the wraith tank as well. There's going to be some more enemies that are going to come out in front of you. There's also going to be a ghost around this corner, so make sure you're prepared for them. Keeping an eye out for that ghost. There we go. Taking out that ghost. We have a few more enemies up on the area on the right side. We're going to take out the brute here. Then there's going to be a brute right here up on the overpass, but make sure that you take out this ghost first. Kind of forgot that ghost actually was going to charge at me, but I thought I was actually going to be able to land that shot on the brute up on the overpass there. Now there's going to be a shade turret on the left. Take that out first. There's going to be some enemies at the street level on the left, and then you're going to want to focus fire the Phantom dropping troops off. Make sure that you also take out the ghost that it dropped off as well. Now, still focus firing the Phantom because I like points. Like, take it out if you want to. Don't take it out. It's completely up to you. Sniper tower on the left. Another, sorry, not on the left, but pretty much in the middle. You want to take that as well. Try and take out the rest of these enemies before we move on. There we go. Now, this next area is going to be kind of the most difficult part of the entire mission, in my opinion, because you're going to be dealing with a lot of fuel rod cannons. So there's this like trio of shade turrets. Take the first two out, and then slowly move up. You have plenty of HP. Your tank may be like on fire, but don't worry. You have plenty of durability left to handle like the ghosts and shade turrets, but you just want to make sure that you're careful of the fuel rod cannons that are going to be dropping in a few moments. Now, taking out the remaining few enemies at the street level, we are keeping an eye out for the Phantom that will drop off troops in a few moments. And here's that Phantom right here. And notice how it popped up right as we got that checkpoint. So as soon as you get that checkpoint, you're going to want to fall back pretty much as soon as you see the Phantom, because it's going to drop off fuel rod cannon grunts. There's going to be, I think, 2 or 3 of them, as well as a few ghosts. So make sure that you try to take out those as quickly as possible. One thing that I wasn't doing in this that I should have been doing was keeping an eye out, number 1, on those fuel rod cannons, and number 2, there is the engines on those sides of the Phantom that basically it's like 3 shots with the tank and it'll destroy the Phantom. It's something that you should be keeping an eye on. Regardless, just make sure it's just like it'll be a little bit more efficient with your shots on the Phantom. But regardless, we destroyed it. Whatever. Now we have that that extra tank here. We're actually we're definitely gonna use that tank because it's pretty much an undamaged tank, and I like to use the tank. Whenever I get the chance, I like to use the tank. But we got out of the tank to go get this beam rifle over here because we're going to need it for the later engagement when we don't have the tank anymore. Trying to take out the Jackal Marksman right here. Looks like there might be one more behind us, but we're just going to kind of ignore it. Get into the other tank. And now we are rolling down Kizingo Boulevard with 2 tanks instead of 1, which is going to be pretty nice, but I don't think the Marines make it through this door, unfortunately. Alright. Now this part, you're going to want to keep an eye out for the enemies on the left here. And then there's going to be several Banshees that are actually going to come at you pretty much straight ahead. They're going to try to aggro the Gauss turret, but sometimes they do ignore him and go straight for you. Make sure that if you do get hit by a Banshee bomb that you don't get hit by a second. The second will kill you. The first just harms you a little bit. So just make sure that you are keeping an eye out on that, as well as the Wraith tanks down near the roundabout. Now, a good portion of this fight, we are just going to sit right up here. As you see, we're trying to take out this Wraith. But we want to stay up here because we don't want to get cornered by the Wraith. We don't want to get cornered by this Phantom dropping off troops. This Phantom will appear a few times. It will drop off reinforcements for like some Ghosts, some Jackals, some Grunts. Just make sure that you're keeping an eye on it, eye out for this Phantom. That Phantom will, not that specific Phantom because we blew it up, but you understand what I'm trying to get at. It's that Phantom will continuously drop troops behind you, so just make sure you're keeping an eye out on it. Now make sure you're taking out any Ghosts or Wraiths. Looks like we have just a few. There's that Ghost right there. I was looking for that one. Trying, just barely missing. There we go. Now it looks like we just have one more Wraith tank. Trying to see if there's any more enemies before we move up, because as soon as this checkpoint happens, that next Phantom will be coming in, dropping off reinforcements. So there we go. Taking out that Wraith, and then that new Phantom comes in. Make sure you're aiming for the engines, just like I am right now. And if you do that perfectly, it will die in 3 shots, and then pretty much, if you were lucky, it would have destroyed the ghosts, and you wouldn't have had to fight anything there. But make sure you take your Scorpion back, because we're going to go grab some more rocket ammo, because we're going to need the rocket in the next area when we fight the Wraith without the tank. And there it is right on the floor there, right next to a health pack. So if you need health, pretty much right next to the rocket. Now hop back into your tank. You're going to take it all the way to where Dutch is, and there might be a little bit of obstacles in your way. And yeah, you can't take this tank into the next area, but you can use it for the enemies that will charge through the door in a few moments. Trying to get around this Wraith right now, but the Wraith just didn't want to move. Come on, Wraith. I'd like to fit my thickness through, please. So park the tank right about here. You're going to get out of the tank. You're going to walk up to where Dutch is. As soon as you see that checkpoint done, you're going to immediately go back to your tank. Now, get back in your tank. You're going to just immediately start firing at the enemies coming through those doors. The moment you stop firing is the moment when your reticle stops turning red when you're there. Shoot a few more times just to make sure. And as soon as that happens, as soon as the enemies stop coming through the door, get out of your tank again. And this is where we're going to use the beam rifle. Knock out a few of the enemies that we see immediately in front of us. There's just a few more jackals, it looks like. This jackal just tanking shots. There we go. Got one of the brutes. There's one more. Looks like there's one more on the left there, but I'm going to keep an eye out for these jackals and grunts. Just keep using the beam rifle. There we go. We got the grunt, the brute finally. Now keeping an eye out for any more enemies. And then as soon as you eliminate all the other enemies, you're going to come back, grab this pistol, and trying to make sure that we can grab a plasma pistol. And then you're going to weapon juggle all the way back up to those stairs. But keep an eye out for the brute chief, brute captain with the brute shot that will charge around that corner.
Terrific.
Alright, continuously weapon juggling all the way up these stairs, because this is going to be where you're going to be hanging out a majority of the, for the rest of this mission basically is up right here. You have plenty of time to set up. The only time that the Phantom will spawn is when you go to where Dutch is, and from that point, you will have to do like a firefight style battle against the Covenant drops. You have plenty of ammo around here as well, that you can grab that sniper if you wanted to. There's pretty much just non-stop supplies for you to do this mission, to finish off this fight. Alright, as soon as you see the enemies drop off, you can start taking them all out. Start with the light infantry, of course, taking out like jackals and then grunts.
We got any heavy weapons for that Wraith?
Now, when Mickey says if we have any heavy weapons for the Wraith, this is where you're going to bust out your rocket. 2 to the Wraith should do it. And then you have plenty of more rockets to handle any of the other enemies that come your way throughout this fight. And you only have to fight that Wraith one time, by the way. You don't have to deal with it multiple times. Now, keeping an eye out for any other enemies that try to charge you on the high ground, like these jackals right here. Now, essentially what you're doing in this part is you're splitting the map up. You're splitting the map up where half the enemies are just focused on Dutch, while the other half are focused on you. The half that are focused on you, you are able to take out pretty easily because you have vantage point. Taking out this jackal on the very far end. He does not want to die. Come on, fall over. There we go. Alright. Trying to take out... So like I was saying, the enemies are basically... Like, you want to divide and conquer on the enemies. Like, notice how half of them are focused on Dutch right now, the other half focused on me. And I'm kind of just worried about fighting my enemies. I know that Dutch is doing a good job defending because I'm not getting shot in the back. And this is why this area is such a good spot, because the enemies are always going to be right in front of you. Now, when the enemies stop coming at you on your side, this is where you can help Dutch out. Now, there's going to be a few enemies. Several of them will have fuel rod cannons, so make sure that you are careful of that. You're being aware of what's going on next to you. This is where we're just going to start lobbing grenades because, as you see here, I'm out of pistol ammo. This is where you just want to be kind of efficient with your shots as possible. Like, again, I could have gone back to that rocket and grabbed that, but I just said, you know, I'm just going to make a beeline for my pistol ammo that I knew I had. So just cleaning out the rest of the enemies in this area. When Dutch tells you that that's all of them, then you can just go to Dutch's position, and that is Kizingo Boulevard. I hope you guys liked this video. If you guys did, please leave a like down below, and please consider subscribing for more walkthroughs. Again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time for Alpha Site.
You heard from Gunny?
No. Romeo neither.
Well, guess it's just you and me.
My vote, hold up, wait for backup.
Thank God! Does one of you know how to use explosives?
Your vote just got overruled.
Oh.